I'm Bill Wilder, the director of the Lifecycle Institute, the learning, leadership, and change practice at Lifecycle Engineering, a company with a 30-year history of helping organizations learn and adapt and apply new processes. What is high-impact learning? If you think about the investment you make in learning, do you think of it as just an event where you check off the checkoff mark that somebody took a particular class and that's your objective? Or are you really investing in the hopes that people will change their behavior and produce a desired result? I submit that it's the latter, and that as time has gone by and organizations have realized how important it is to learn and adapt, that organizations are looking for investments in learning that are more than just a check off the block. That's what high impact learning does. Research has proven that if I go to a class, I'll be lucky to apply 20%. And in fact, 80% of learning takes place out of the classroom. And if you think about your learning experience, I'm sure you'll see that that's the case, is that you went to the classroom and you got some fundamentals, but then it was out there in the field actually doing it, or on the floor doing it, or on the job applying it, where you actually learned. And to do that requires looking at learning as a process. And at Lifecycle, when we talk about high-impact learning, that's what we're talking about. Learning is a process, is a three-stage process to produce results. And that process is alignment, or align, assimilate, apply. And when we put all three together, we get results. Now, what are these three? Align is the pre-classroom time, and this is really focused on one, what are those desired results? A real focused attention on what the objectives are. Because without that, all the rest of this will fail. And then secondly is a clear line of sight for the participant in the learning on why they are in the learning, what the behavior change is expected of them, and how that contributes to the organization's results. So that's putting in structure and process that assures you have defined objectives, learning objectives, that tie to organizational goals, and clear expectations of the people participating in the activity. Next is assimilation, or assimilate, and that's the classroom experience itself. And the key here is that the classroom experience be an experience that's designed for working people, not the academic world. And in that case, we're really looking for four very fundamental things. And that is that this be an environment that honors and in fact embraces the prior knowledge and experience of the people in the room. So we assess that through activity, and then we access it to make the class more successful. Secondly, it is relevant, that they quickly see the connection to making their life better when they walk out of the room. Three, it's self-directed. They have some say in what they're being taught, when they're being taught, however, always maintaining focus on that objective. And then third, that it's active. 70 to 80% of the time, they should be actively engaged in the learning process, not sitting passively listening to a lecture. The last thing I would say here on Assimilate is that the facilitator is key. You can't just take a subject matter expert and throw them out there and expect them to be a powerful and effective facilitator of learning. It is very important that whoever's leading this classroom experience understand how people learn and how to adapt that learning environment to facilitate that learning. The last is the application stage, and 80% of the learning takes place right here in these two stages. And in the application stage, what is so critical is that you have early success in achieving one or two or three specific goals that you've defined, and that you have a mentor-coach role to support you in that. The mentor, typically the supervisor or manager, there to hold you accountable and to help overcome or adapt systems and structures that might be preventing you from being able to achieve your goal. The second role is the coach. The coach typically is the actual facilitator of the class or some other subject matter expert. And they are there to help you with adapting what you've learned to your environment and encouraging you and continuing that repetition that's so critical to actually retaining what you've learned and applying it. And if you do these three, you have high impact learning, high impact in the results that you achieve. This is Bill Wilder at the Lifecycle Institute at Lifecycle Engineering.